Hello everyone and welcome to Mountain Lake Journal. I'm Tom Hellick. This week, a new look and a new mission for the corner convenience store.
This is part of our $25 million investment.
Stewart's has opened its new store in the village of Port Henry, replacing a smaller one that for many years was right next door. At 4,100 square feet, it is now the largest in the Stewart's chain of convenience stores. When Manx Market closed last fall, Stewart's bought the property, tore down the old grocery store that had been a Grand Union, Tops, and Max over the years, and built a new Stewart's shop in its place. And with the new, larger superstore that opened this past week, comes an expanded lineup of groceries and fresh produce.
It's going to be great to be able to offer groceries.
Gary Dake's family has owned Stewart's for 3 generations.
We're going to be doing the same thing in Keene Valley and also in Indian Lake. And I'm hopeful that if the model really ends up working and we can sell more fresh products, we'll be able to expand that model even other places. And who knows, maybe even get it into some city sections where they're also getting some food deserts.
You were looking at Manx Market when it closed last fall,
Yep.
even before COVID. But with COVID now, is this a model that may work in a number of communities where people don't want to drive 10 or 20 miles to a grocery store?
It's been really interesting to watch how customer shopping habits have changed during COVID because people want to get in and out of a store quicker. They want to have less exposure. We offer a nice variety of high quality products. And so it's actually worked out very well for us because gas volume is down, prepared food is down, coffee is down, because people aren't commuting to work. But at the same time, we've seen an increase in bread, milk, eggs. So it's been a very natural fit for us. I think it's making communities a little bit safer. It's good for business, good for the community. I love win-wins.
Port Henry is one of several smaller communities in the North Country without a grocery store, where residents like Ruth Hargreaves have to drive up to 20 miles to the nearest supermarket. She says the Stewart's will benefit those in the village who can't drive to get their groceries.
A lot of people don't have automobiles where they can just go to any store they want to, so that helps them a lot.
Obviously, it can't be a full-fledged grocery store, but they do offer produce, they offer more frozen food, staples that you need where you don't have to run 20 miles to get. So it's been a godsend.
And for Town Supervisor Tom Scazafava, it was a huge relief having Stewart's buy and demolish the old supermarket to make way for their new store.
We've been down this road when the Grand Union closed, and it's very difficult to attract a grocer into your, even with a community of 5,000 people, when you have Walmart 18 miles down the road. They just can't compete with them. So I really believe that, the old store would have stood here for quite some time vacant, and look at what we have here now. So it's great.
So it's a model. It's something that the first of their kind to do, and I'm so glad they did it here. I mean, it's got to be perfect for rural areas who, they don't, a big grocery store, they don't have the population enough to support that. But to be able to support this is perfect for them. And it's such a help to this community.
We've got some major food deserts in the region, and Stewart's is just perfectly positioned to be a major player in decreasing food insecurity in our region. They already have an excellent, network of stores. They have distribution systems in place. They're very generous to the community in general. So the fact that they're considering playing a larger role in food access, especially healthy food access, is a great win for our region.
And it's much more than just a matter of convenience. Brittany Christensen with 80K Action says food insecurity is a huge issue for nearly 20% of the population in rural areas of the Adirondacks. And with the lack of fresh, nutritious food comes major health concerns like alarming rates of diabetes and heart disease. That's why last year, 80K Action opened this farm store in downtown Port Henry, sharing space with the Mountain Weavers Guild shop on Main Street, offering fresh, locally grown produce for customers, especially elderly and low-income residents who can't get to supermarkets in Plattsburgh, Ticonderoga, or across the lake in Vermont. Due to COVID, the farm store hasn't been able to reopen this summer, but Christensen is hopeful it eventually will.
ADK Action partnered with Mountain Lake Services and specifically the Mountain Weavers Farm Store to create a place for people to buy food, and it worked out quite well because we started the project right as Max was closing. Unfortunately, with COVID, it's been difficult to reopen. It's a very small store, and Mountain Lake Services has decided that at this time it cannot be open to the public. But the project has been very successful, and as soon as it feels safe to do so, it will reopen. And the Mountain Weavers Farm Store project has food from local farms, everything from from fresh produce to frozen meat, cheese, yogurt, specialty products, and I think that is very complementary to the current offerings at Stewart's.
Work is just now getting underway on the next superstore in Keene, New York, that will also offer an expanded lineup of groceries and fresh, healthy food.